Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pre-Game. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking Pre-Game.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios, where tonight the Vikings are getting ready to tip off the 2020-2021 girls basketball season as they take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Rick Olson here, and soon I'll head over to the school and join Dan Petschow as we're getting ready to bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's Dunn St. Croix Conference game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready to see some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where Dan Petschow and I are getting ready to bring you all of tonight's action of the season-opening girls basketball game between the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to continue their command of the Dunn St. Croix Conference, where over the past 10 years, the Vikings have compiled a 134-win and 14-loss record for a 91% winning percentage. The Vikings are also looking to capture their third straight Dunn St. Croix Conference championship. Now, starting this season with a new look from top to bottom, Courtney Serrar takes over as head coach, replacing longtime Viking leader Joe Doucette. Coach Serrar should be familiar with the Doucette system as being Coach Doucette's daughter. Now, she's been surrounded by the system all of her life. Coach Serrar does plan to add some twists gained from her playing time for the University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. In addition to a new head coach, the Vikings need to find a way to replace 8 players who graduated from last year's squad. However, the common phrase around Colfax is, the Vikings don't rebuild, they reload, as the Vikings have several players returning from last season's team who saw significant playing time. They're led by 5'7" junior swing forward Madison Barstead, who averaged 4.5 points per game coming off the bench by scoring 113 points. Now, joining Barstead is 5'6" senior guard Addison Olson, who scored 81 points, with 51 of those coming on three-pointers, where she shot at a 30% rate. Also helping lead the way for the Vikings is 5'6" senior guard Marissa Harmon, who was also effective from three-point land, shooting 38%. In addition to the Vikings, they're looking for a major contribution from senior transfer student Tyler Knoll. These players, along with a solid depth, give the Vikings plenty of optimism for the 2020-2021 season. Now, Mondovi comes into tonight's game as one of the favorites in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. After losing 4 seniors from last year's team, they returned 5 of their top 6 scorers from last season. The Buffaloes are led by 5'6" guard Morgan Clark, who led the team in scoring last season, averaging 12 points per game, while shooting 40% from beyond the three-point line. Clark was aided by 5'6" senior guard Ella Paschal, who averaged nearly 11 points per game. Now, due to COVID-19, we have some differences in the way that we're going to bring you Viking basketball this season. Programs such as Coach's Corner and Viking Profile need to be done virtually so as to help protect our players, coaches, and our staff from the spread of this virus. In addition, when it comes to Viking road games, we will also bring you those virtually. The same way Major League Baseball broadcast those games last summer. We will be in our studio, and with the permission of the host schools, we will use their video feed as our video feed and do our best to call the game virtually. We will still be at the Viking home games. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And coach, in just a few minutes, you're going to be tipping off the 2020-2021 basketball season. Now, this is your first season at the helm of the Viking ship, and so your feelings as we get ready to tip off this season.
Yeah, mostly I'm just really excited. You know, the start of a new season is always, it's really fun and just exciting to get on the floor and see what we've done in practice put into a game. I'm a little nervous since the shoes I'm filling are pretty big, but excited nonetheless. This group of girls, you know, they haven't missed a beat listening to a new voice and a new style of coaching. A lot of my dad's and my philosophies are the same, so I think that transition has been easy, but yeah, otherwise I'm just, you know, ready to have some fun this year.
Well, terrific. Now, this season presents some really unique situations. You really got thrown into the fire, especially with the presence of COVID-19. Now, what special challenges has that presented for you and the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, from day one of practice, I mean, we knew what we were kind of in for here. We've just learned that we have to take things day by day, and we've already experienced some troubles with, you know, cancellations and quarantines early on, but I mean, we're just grateful for the chance to still be able to have basketball and have a season. And we know that things aren't exactly how we want them to be, but we also know that everyone is dealing with the same challenges that we are. So we talk every day about meeting each day with a positive attitude. And, you know, the girls have met those challenges head on, and they haven't let wearing masks or quarantining or, you know, whatever it may be prevent us from meeting our goals. And they've worked really hard, you know, during practice, and we're ready to just play.
Now, the Vikings lost some pretty valuable players to graduation from last year's team. However, this year's class seems ready to step up and carry on that tradition of powerful Viking basketball. What can you tell us about this year's team?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we lost, you know, 8 great seniors last year and, you know, 5 starters. So there were spots up for grab. And I think, you know, everybody's ready to, you know, meet that challenge head on, because that in itself is just, you know, we have a lot of girls who don't have a lot of varsity experience, but we have 7 really great seniors who are ready to step up to the plate. They've shown, you know, those leadership skills early on, and we're still working on our chemistry, but so far I'm impressed, and I think things are going really well. I'm confident that, you know, this group, the seniors and everybody else, is ready for, you know, their moment to shine, and I think they're really going to do some great things this year.
It kind of goes with the phrase that I keep hearing around town, that the Colfax Vikings don't rebuild, they just reload.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're lucky we have, you know, we're a program that puts a lot of effort into, you know, building our program from the top to the bottom. So when we do, you know, lose those big senior classes, because we'll face that same thing again at the end of this year. It's just, you know, if you put that time and effort in with all of your kids, then you won't have to worry about, you know, replacing the ones that you've lost. And yeah, so I think, you know, these girls are chomping at the bit to get these varsity spots, and it'll be a fun and successful year.
Now, tonight, the Vikings will tip off the season against the Mondovi Buffaloes, who on paper look like they could be pretty powerful. What can you tell us about the Buffaloes, and what challenges do they present?
Yeah, Coach Kaufman returns a few really great players from last year's team. We've been, talking about them basically since we found out our game against Boomer was canceled. We switched gears. They have 3 really great guards who are physical. They're scrappy. We're definitely going to have to take care of the ball tonight, that's for sure. I know that, if we could communicate with each other and take great shots and value the ball, I think tonight will go well for us. But we're going to have our hands full with those 3 returning guards, and Morgan Clark and Josie Hulke and Ella Pacho, because, each of them, they were young last year and got in a ton of varsity experience, which is something that we, are lacking in. But I'm thinking, with our assignments, the girls, they know a lot about what to expect with each of them. So I'm hoping they're ready to meet that first challenge, and we're looking to get our first conference win.
Well, Coach Farrar, good luck on tonight's game, and hopefully the Vikings will have a successful beginning to the 2020-2021 season when you take on those Buffaloes.
Yeah, thank you. We're excited, and hopefully everybody who's watching from home can see just the hard work that we've put in this year. So
thank you, Coach Farrar.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to continue their command of the Dunn St. Croix Conference and challenge for their 3rd straight conference championship. Now, on the other hand, the Buffaloes would like to begin a dynasty of their own with a powerful junior-laden roster. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in just a moment. Now, I'm going to be headed over to the school to join my colleague Dan Petschow as we bring you all the action at tonight's season opening girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes. That's all coming up next. Now, you've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfies, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
To Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
They're at the free throw line to Addison from 3. She hit it! Addison Olsen with the 3-point.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Baum being chased down and finally pulled away by Barstead, who puts it up and in.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Up to Best. Best drives into the lane, puts up a shot, rattles around and in.
Northern Light Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax. Northern.
Well, I don't know what all that was, but welcome to Colfax High School. And I think we're getting ready to do the national anthem and player introductions, and we'll have that for you here in just a moment. And we'll send it down right now for the national anthem.
As the national anthem is sung by Colfax High School senior Drew Gibson. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose brush stripes and bright stars through the pale lost fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And that's Colfax senior Drew Gibson with the national anthem, and we're going to have the player introductions. But since we don't have a crowd mic tonight, Dan, why don't you go through those lineups for us?
Yeah, here's the lineup for Mondovi girls tonight. They're going to go with number 13, sophomore Paige Everson, number 14, junior Josie Holke, number 20, senior Ella Paschal, number 23, Catherine Thompson, she's a junior, and number 24, Abby Johnson, she'll be a junior. For the Colfax Vikings, their first starting five are number 10, Addison Olson, she's a senior, number 14, senior Bailey Bradford, number 20, senior Marissa Harmon, number 22, junior Madison Barstead, and number 40, senior Jasmine Paulus.
And it's been quite a challenge for these teams to even have teams to put out on the floor. I know Colfax has been bitten a little bit by the COVID bug, and I know that, in fact, we're not going to see Morgan Clark for the Buffaloes tonight because she is in COVID protocol.
Yeah, and she's one of their main players.
Scorer last year.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, it'll be, hey, any good basketball game is good.
that's true. That's true. So anyway, they finished giving the lineups, and we're getting ready to get this one started here. That again is Everson, Holke, Paschal, Thompson, and Johnson for the Buffaloes. They're out on the floor. And we have Olson, Bradford, Harmon, Barstead, and Paulus for the Vikings. They're getting ready to come out on the floor. And we don't have jump balls in high school ball this year. That's one of the changes due to COVID. So inbounding the ball is Catherine Thompson, and they get it over to the right side to Abby Johnson. She drives into the lane, kicks it back out to the left to Everson, puts her shot up. It's no good. It's chased down in the corner. Olson saves it from going out and gets it over to Paulus. And they get it back to Olson, who brings it down the floor. Stops just short of the center circle. Gets picked up there. She comes across the timeline, but she's between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side. Now back out to the Paulus at the top of the key. To Harmon, then underneath, and the shot goes up and in by Madison Barstead. And the Buffaloes bring it down the floor. Holke with it. She gets it over to Johnson. Over to Thompson, who brings it across the timeline. Now to Everson. Tries to feed it into the lane. Ball gets tipped and taken away by Harmon as she drives down the floor. Stops at the free throw line, and they say she walked. One too many steps as she tried to put on the brakes that time.
Colfax goes with a press right away.
And the Buffaloes inbound it. It's Thompson with it. Comes across the timeline on the right side. Now she's high, wide, and right. Cross court pass over to Paschal. Paschal drives down the left side of the lane, spins, tries to drive into the lane. We have a whistle and a travel being called. Ella Paschal with a little extra step because of the body contact in there. Barstead inbound it for the Vikings. Gets it over to Harmon. Over to Olsen on the left side, still in the backcourt. She comes up across the timeline. Still on the left side. Feeds it over to Paulus on the left. Out to the top of the key to Harmon. Harmon over to Barstead. To Olsen at the top of the key. Drives down the right side. Feeds it out to Harmon outside the arc. Harmon out high to Bradford. Now it's Paulus with it in the left corner. Feeds it out to Harmon, high, wide, and left. Harmon takes it down to the left side, gets it to Paulus. Paulus feeds it out to Barstead, puts the shot up from three, no good. Rebound, whistle, and a foul being called on Paulus. That's her first personal, first team foul for Jasmine Paulus. 2-0, Vikings on top of the Buffaloes. They inbound the ball. Thompson with it. Feeds it over to Johnson. Johnson straight down the lane. Lays it up and it goes in. We're all tied at 2 with 15:46 to go. Olsen brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Across the timeline. Feeds it over on the right side to Harmon. Harmon underneath to Barstead. Tries a turnaround jumper and got fouled on the way up. So Maddie Barstead goes to the line to shoot 2.
Colfax and get the ball inside, get down on the block, and get some shots right away.
And Barstead's first shot is up and in. Couple substitutions for both teams. And Barstead's second shot is off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound was taken down by Irwin, but then she dribbled it on the baseline.
More full court press by Colfax.
Thompson with it. In the backcourt for Mondovi. Brings it down the floor. And a three-pointer goes up and in, and we have a whistle and a timeout.
Looks like a referee timeout.
Yes, it appears as though Riley Parker went down kind of hard. She's in a little bit of pain. She's got those ankles all taped up already, and it looks like she may have aggravated a little bit. Vikings to inbound the ball. Olsen has it on the left side in the backcourt. Little hesitation move, takes it across the timeline. Now takes it between the circles. Drives to the lane, kicks it out to Harmon from 3 on the right side, and she put it in. Marissa Harmon with the 3. Vikings back up on top, 6-5. Buffaloes come down the floor. Hulke with it. She feeds it off to Johnson. Johnson over to the left side to Thompson. Thompson drives to the baseline, puts it up, no good. Rebound. Hauled out of there by Harmon. Gets it over to Olsen as the Vikings quickly come back down the floor. Olsen takes it into the lane, tries to drive to the hole, and she's going to go to the line for 2. The Buffaloes stepped in her way at the last second, and Addison drew the foul. It's going to the line. Her first shot is on the way and good. 14:37 to go in the first half. And here's Addison's second shot, and it's good. 8-5, the Vikings up by 3. As the Buffaloes bring it down the floor. Johnson with it. Feeds it up to Hulke. Hulke stops on the left side. Feeds a cross-court pass from 3 is no good. That was by Paschal, and the Vikings come away with the ball. Barstead over to Olsen. Feeding it down the floor to Irwin, and it gets knocked out of bounds. And the Vikings will maintain possession. Abby Irwin to inbound. Feeds it into Olsen between the circles. Over to Barstead on the right side, high, wide, and right. Out to between the circles. That was Tyler Knoll between the circles. And
Addison's going to get to the line again.
hey, it doesn't matter how you get him as long as you get him, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, good move. The hoop there. Draw the foul.
Next shot is good. At the risk of jinxing her, she's now 3 for 3 from the line. Olsen's second shot on the way, and off the back. Yeah, it's my fault. All right, Hulke brings it down the floor for the Buffaloes. Feeds it over to Everson. Back out high to Hulke. Hulke drives to the lane and gets tied up. Emily Bertram-Schofield commits the foul. Got a little handsy with her as she was driving into the lane, so the Buffaloes will take it in from out of bounds. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Jillian Bovey, and out goes Addison Olsen. Inbound pass to Hulke. High, wide, and left, and she hit it from 3. Vikings bring the ball down. Shipman inbounds it. Irwin has it. Gets it out between the circles. To Bovey. Bovey has it on the right side outside the arc. Feeding it into the lane, and we have a whistle and a foul. Pass was going into the lane to Tyler Knoll, and
I believe it's on 15.
Foul was on Lily Krybeck. That's her first personal, 4th team foul on the Buffaloes. Bertram-Schofield to inbound it, gets it into Shipman, and it gets knocked out of bounds. Vikings will maintain possession. Shipman to inbound it now. Feeds it out high to Bovey. Over to Bradford between the circles. Now down to Bertram-Schofield. Cross-court pass. Taking it into the lane is Knoll, and she gets fouled on her way in. And she's going to the line for 2. That's the second personal on Krybeck. 5th team foul. Tyler Knoll's first shot is no good. Tyler's a senior transfer student, came up from Cuba City.
Yeah, add some senior leadership to the team.
Her second shot is on the way, and it goes through. 10-8, Vikings up by 2. 13-16 to go in the first half. Thompson has the ball in the backcourt. Under heavy pressure there by Paulus. Long pass, tipped away, and the Vikings come up with it, and we have a travel being called.
I was looking for the jump ball, but they go with the travel.
Jillian Bovey and got tied up with one of the Buffaloes, and anyway, the Buffaloes get the ball and high pass out to Johnson. It's over to Cassie Thompson now. Cross-court pass over to Paschal. They feed it into the lane, and it gets picked up by Paschal. She puts up the shot, no good. Rebound being chased down, goes out of bounds, and the Vikings have the ball. So we have Catherine Thompson and Cassie Thompson. We might just have to go Catherine and Cassie with that. Vikings inbound it. Bovey has it. Little hesitation. Passes it across the timeline, gets knocked out of bounds by Johnson for the Buffaloes. Pass was intended for Paulus. Vikings will maintain possession. Pass to Bovey. Try to take it up across the timeline, and they're going to call a whistle, and
looks like a block.
yes, it's a blocking foul on Catherine Thompson. That's her first personal. 6th team foul. Olsen back into the lineup for the Vikings. Takes it across the timeline. Drives down to the top of the key. Feeds it over to the left side. And they get it back out to Olsen. Over to Paulus. Long shot. And that shot was by Emily Bertram Schofield. Feeds it. They feed it down low. The Buffaloes do to Hulke, who puts it up and in. Olsen takes it across the timeline. Takes it down to the baseline, almost lost control, gets it back, gets it out to Paulus, high, wide, and right. To Bertram Schofield, driving into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound, chased down, Bertram Schofield has it. Feeds it out to Olsen from 3, puts it up, around the rim and out. And the Buffaloes come down with the ball. A lot of pressure being put on by the Vikings, and I think Bertram Schofield may have picked up the foul. She did. Emily Bertram Schofield, it's her second personal, 3rd team foul on the Vikings.
More for court press by Colfax.
Barstead and Harmon back into the lineup for the Vikings. Inbound pass to Hulke. They feed it over to Johnson. Looking for somewhere to go. She gets it to Hulke. They're still in the backcourt. Ball gets knocked away and being scrapped for on the floor. And we have a timeout being called by the Mondovi Buffaloes. And with a timeout on the floor, we'll take one here too. 11:24 to go in the first half. Vikings 12, Mondovi Buffaloes 10. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And we're back here at Colfax High School as the Buffaloes inbound the ball. They bring it down the floor on the left side. Now out to the top of the key. They feed it down low on the right side. Turnaround jumpers, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. On that jumper was Paschal. And the Vikings bring it down the floor. Harmon with it. Comes across the timeline. Waits for Olsen. Feeds it to her in the center circle. Olsen over to Harmon on the right. Cross court pass to Barstead. Puts up a 3 off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound being battled around. Tapped out by Olsen. Barstead picks it up. Feeds it to Olsen. Or that's Paulus. Check that. Cross court pass over to Harmon. To Barstead. Drives into the lane, puts up the shot, it rolls around and in. Maddie Barstead with 2. 14-10, the Vikings on top. Buffaloes bring it down. Hulke with a breakaway, puts it up, overlays, and rebound taken down by Olsen. Olsen looks down the floor to Paulus. Paulus took one turn too many. Got a little traveling there.
Yeah, got a little off balance. Dug her pivot foot.
Substitution for the Buffaloes into the lineup is Everson. And Paulus batted the inbound pass. And it goes out of bounds. So the Buffaloes still get it. Thompson with it. This is Catherine Thompson. Takes it across the timeline. Covered closely by Olsen. Feeds it down into the lane to Johnson. Lays it up and in. Olsen with it. Feeds it to Barstead. Barstead quickly down the floor. Feeds it over to Barstead. Or not, check that. To Bradford. And she missed the shot. Went out of bounds. And the Buffaloes have it. 14-12. Vikings on top. 9:48 to go in the first half. Buffaloes across the timeline. Thompson now feeds it to Johnson down underneath. They kick it back out to Everson. Now to Thompson. Cross court pass from Paschal. Over to Everson. Into the lane, back out to Everson. Everson puts up a three, no good. Rebound taken down by Johnson. She puts a shot up, and we have a whistle and a foul being called on Paulus.
That'll be Paulus' second.
And the fourth team foul on the Vikings. This is Johnson at the line. First shot is on the wing, good. Couple of substitutes into the lineup for the Vikings. And here comes her second shot. It's good. And we are all knotted up at 14. 9:13 to go. Olsen with it. Gets it over to Harmon on the left side in the backcourt. Gets it across the timeline. Takes it into the lane. Feeds it out to Barstead. Over to Irwin. Puts up a three. No good. And it's rebound taken down by the Buffaloes, but stolen away by Irwin, and she lays it up and in. Abby Irwin with the nice two. 16-14, Vikings on top. Long pass down for Holke. She lays it up. No, and we have a whistle, and I believe it's a foul being called on Addison Olsen. That'll be her first personal 15 foul. Wasn't much she could do there.
Yeah, long pass there. Got over the defense and had to get the ball.
First shot is on the way, and it's good. This is Holke at the line, and her second shot is on the way. And it rings around, no good. And Holke chases down the loose ball. Feeds it over to Price. Price over to Thompson on the right. Cross-court pass over to Price on the left. Pass out to Paschal. She loses control of it. Check that was Everson. Rolls into the backcourt, and they come down the floor with it. They get it over to Price. To Everson, puts up the shot. No good from outside three-point land. Johnson gets trapped down in the corner. We have a whistle and a foul being called.
Looks like it's on number 4.
And it is Abby Irwin with the foul. That's her first personal 16 foul. That'll put both teams into the bonus after the Buffaloes inbound this one. 8:12 to go in the first half. They inbound it to Price. Loses the handle, chases it down. They feed it over to the top of the key. Now over to the left side to Thompson. Thompson back out high to Paschal. Paschal to Everson. Everson to Price on the right. Is that what they mean when they say the price is right?
That's right.
And a long three, a big looping three goes in from Thompson. And that gives the Buffaloes the lead by 2. Long pass down the floor. Picked up and laid in by McKenna Shipman for the Vikings. We're tied back up at 18. Paschal brings it down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side. Now back out high And then over to Paschal on the left. Over to Thompson on the right, high, wide, and right. To Everson, outside the 3 on the right. To Paschal, to Price. Now Thompson drives the lane and lays it up and in. 20-18, Buffalo's on top. Ball gets fed into Bovey. Bovey across the timeline. Takes it down the lane, lays it up, and she got fouled on the way in. She actually was a little off balance on that shot and got a little too far under.
That's Paschal's first for Mondovi.
And the 7th team foul. First shot is up and in. Jillian Bovey at the line. She's a junior. Second shot on the way. Off the back of the air, no good. Rebound chased down by the Buffaloes. This is Paschal coming down. Feeds it to Johnson on the right side, but she dragged that pivot foot. Into the lineup comes Riley Parker. It's good to see her come back in. Whatever was ailing her appears to be nothing too serious. Ball gets inbounded to Bovey. Bovey with it, gets it over to Shipman. Ball gets taken away from Shipman by Paschal, and she carried it. Got a little too high with that dribble. So the ball goes back over to the Vikings. Vikings trail by 1, 6:28 to go in the first half. Bovey feeds it over to Barstead. Takes it across the timeline. Bovey has it on the left. Feeds it out high to Shipman. Shipman drives into the lane, tries to put it up, and it rolls off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by the Buffaloes. Thompson with it. Circles back out to the outside. Gets it out to Everson, and then over to Paschal, puts up a 3 and no good. And the Vikings will have it. We have a quick substitution here. Paschal goes out. And Ava Gray comes in. Long pass to Addison, and it was last touch before it went out of bounds by Johnson for the Buffaloes. So the Vikings will have it. Bovey to inbound the ball for the Vikings under their own basket. High feed to Parker. She lays it up, missed the back of the arm, and Barstead tries to go back up with it, and we have a whistle and a foul. And the foul is on Johnson. It's Johnson's second personal. It's the 8th team foul. Barstead's first shot is up. It rolls around and rolls off. Another substitution. Hulke back into the lineup, replacing Johnson. Barstead's second shot is on its way, and it goes in. We're all tied at 20, 5:56 to go. Buffaloes feed it across the timeline. Almost an over and back. They get it to Thompson. Now it's over to Hulke. To Gray. Back out to Thompson. And to Cassie Thompson. And the ball goes out of bounds after being knocked away by the Vikings, and it's going to be Hulke to inbound it for the Buffaloes. She gets it into Catherine Thompson. Feeds it over to Ava Gray. And now Cassie Thompson. To Catherine. Catherine has it high, wide, and left. She puts up a 3. No. Rebound. Tapped away and chased down by the Buffaloes. Putting up a long 3 is no good. Rebound chased down by Barstead. Feeds it down to Bovey. Bovey takes it into the lane. She puts up a shot. No good. Rebound taken down by the Buffaloes. Across the timeline. Hulke with it. They feed it over to Gray. She takes into the lane. Ball gets away from her as they feed it over to Cassie Thompson. Then they feed it to Hulke, and she walked with it as she tried to drive the lane. Still tied at 20. 4:38 to go in the first half. Inbound pass to Harmon.
Full court press by Mondovi.
They feed it to Irwin and get it across the timeline by Barstead. Barstead in a little bit of trouble, gets it out to Irwin. Irwin takes it over to the right side, feeds out to the top of the key to Harmon. Her shot comes up a little bit short. And he's saying the ball was tipped. The official says the shot was tipped by Mondovi, and they're having a discussion. And that's the ruling. The ball was tipped by the Buffaloes on the shot, and so Harmon is going to inbound it for the Vikings. Harmon looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it into Barstead out high. They feed it over to Shipman, who drives down to the baseline on the right side, out to Parker. Quickly over to Harmon. They swing it around to Barstead. Or that's Irwin, check that. And the ball got knocked out of bounds, out of her hands. So the Vikings will have it. Harmon to inbound. She feeds it to Barstead, and we have a jump ball being called as Barstead tried to go up, and she got tied up with it, and it's a jump ball. The alternate arrow or possession arrow is in favor of the Vikings, and they call a timeout. So a timeout on the floor. It's all tied at 20 with 4 minutes to go. You're watching Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Colfax High School, all knotted up at 20. Vikings getting ready to inbound the ball. Long pass gets tapped around, and it goes out of bounds off of the Buffaloes. Josie Hulke tried to save it before it went out of bounds. Was not quite able to do that. So the Vikings get it. Harmon looking to inbound it. She gets it to Barstead. Barstead over to Irwin. Irwin between the circles. Over to Barstead on the left side. Drives down to the baseline. Lays it up. It goes in. And she drew the harm on the way. And the foul was on Paige Everson, and that's Everson's second personal. And the first shot is, or her shot is on the way good. 23-20, Vikings on top. Officials waiting for everybody to get settled down, and now they inbound it. Johnson inbounds it to Catherine Thompson. Takes it through the center circle, across the timeline to Hulke. And Hulke throws it down into the corner where it's chased down by Gray. They feed it out high to Paschal. Gets it down low to Gray, and the ball gets knocked away by Irwin, and she recovers it. And the Vikings have it. Irwin gets tied up in the backcourt, but the ball gets picked up by Barstead. Barstead takes it right down the center of the lane, lays it up. She overlaid it, and rebound gets taken down by the Buffaloes. Thompson bringing it down the floor across the timeline. Feeds it out to Paschal. Paschal drives the baseline. Nothing there. Kicks it out to Gray. Gray puts up a three. No good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Barstead across the timeline. To Irwin. To Harmon. Harmon out to Barstead. To Parker. To Shipman to Parker. Parker puts up a three, and it's no good. That one didn't even draw backboard.
It almost looked like she was trying to dump it in.
Feed an alley-oop pass or something.
Yep, just came up a little short.
She found the out-of-bounds line, and so the Buffaloes have it. Johnson with it, takes it through the center circle. Comes across the timeline, they feed it down into the right side, now back out high to Hulke. Hulke to Thompson, high, wide, and left, puts up a three off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Johnson, over to Gray, she puts up a shot, but got fouled by Harmon on the way up. Foul on Marissa Harmon, that's her first personal. 7th team. And Gray's gonna be shooting 2. Her first shot is on the way, and it's good. A slew of subs coming in for the Vikings. Gray's second shot is on its way, rolls around and in. 23-22, Vikings up by 1 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Ovi with it, feeds it out high to Shipman, puts up a shot, no good, rebound. We got a foul being called on Jillian Bovey. That's her first personal, 8th team foul.
Walk the floor.
Shooting a 1-and-1. And her first shot is on the way. It's no good. Rebound fought for. Buffalo's come away with it. They feed it out high to Gray. Gray puts up a shot. It rattles around and goes out. Olsen with the rebound. She's double teamed. Feeds it out to Shipman. Shipman takes it across the timeline. They get it over to Olsen between the circles. Olsen drives to the right side of the lane. Gives it to Shipman. Takes it into the lane. Jumper. No good. Rebound. Buffaloes. Whistle foul. And the foul's on Olsen. That'll be her second personal. 9th team foul, so both teams will be in the double bonus after this time. Knoll into the lineup for the Vikings. Here's her first shot, is up and in. Everson at the line. Second shot on the way as soon as she stops dribbling. Now it's on the way, and it's in. That puts the Buffaloes back up by 1. 24-23. Minute and a half to go, just under that. Harmon across the timeline. Out to Harmon from 3, no good. Rebound, knocked back in by Knoll. Scrum for the ball on the floor. Pretty good wrestling match down there, but the ball goes out of bounds. And it's off the Vikings. They inbound it, and Hulke with it. Hulke brings it down across the timeline. Over to the right side to Paschal. Back out high to Thompson. Thompson over to Hulke on the right. Cross-court pass gets tipped away, intended for Paschal. She grabs it, takes it to the hole, and we have a whistle and a foul. Mondovi with the foul, I believe. That's her second personal. This will be the double bonus. First one's up and in. Ella Paschal, 4 points on the day. 25-23, Mondovi on top. Second shot on the way, off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound, taken down by Barstead for the Vikings. Down the floor comes Bovey. Feeds it over to the right side to Barstead, out high to Harmon. To Bradford. To Knoll. Now it's out to Harmon. Harmon over to Bovey. Bovey with a little hesitation move, turn around. Feeds it out to Barstead. Resets things. 6 seconds to go in the half. Feeds it out to Barstead, puts up a long three, no good, rebound, and it goes out of bounds, but that's the end of the first half. So we finish the first half with the score. The Mondovi Buffaloes 25, the Colfax Vikings 23. We have Viking halftime coming up with the Viking profile and then the Colfax High School report, and that's all going to come up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Addison Olson, a senior here at Colfax High School. We'll be chatting with Addison right after this message.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We're talking with Addison Olson on Viking Profile. And Addison, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
No, I am not.
Okay, so when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience have you had?
When I was in 4th grade, I started, and it's been a long but fun road.
Now, you're not going to be able to play right away at the beginning of the season because you're one of the victims of COVID, but have you been able to struggle through some of those other kinds of difficulties through your basketball career?
Yeah, when I broke my arm, I couldn't play twice.
Okay. So what's the most important thing you've learned from playing basketball?
You always work as a team, no matter what you do. You gotta stick together.
So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that interest you and keeps you occupied?
I ride horse, so I barrel race, which takes up most of my time other than work.
Okay, here's a few rapid fire questions. Just give me the first thing that pops into your head. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
What kind?
Pumpkin.
Okay. Now, your favorite color and why?
Turquoise. I don't know why, I just really like the color.
And in fact, that's the colors you wear with one of your horses, isn't it?
Yup.
Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Teleport.
Okay. That could be
So
kind
I
of
don't
fun.
have to drive.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't have to drive.
Now, your favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Don't watch NBA.
Okay, how about your favorite college basketball team?
Wisconsin.
Now, we're talking with Addison Olson of Viking Profile. And Addison, what are your plans for after high school?
I am going to CVTC for animal science.
And what will that lead you to?
I don't know, anything with horses pretty much.
How about a shout out to your family?
Shout out to my dad for always pushing me to be my best, and shout out to my mom for always driving me to all the practices and games when I was in middle school.
Now, when people watch Viking games here on NLWN-TV, what number are you going to wear and what position do you play?
I wear number 10, and I am a point guard and a shooting guard.
Well, we want to thank Addison Olson for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now for the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
Colfax Vikings athletics continues with the boys and the girls basketball teams, middle school boys basketball, and they're all underway. The girls Vikings basketball team had their first game of the season with the Bloomer Blackhawks scheduled for Tuesday, November 24th, canceled due to COVID-19. So the girls will begin their 2020-2021 season with 3 games this week. On Tuesday, they take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. On Thursday, they host the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And on Friday, they host the Prairie Farm Panthers. All of those games are at home and will be carried on both the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Viking boys were scheduled to host the Bloomer Blackhawks on Saturday, December 5th. However, that game has been canceled due to COVID-19. The boys will open their season on Tuesday, December 8th, when they host the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. We will also carry that game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Viking dance team will compete in the Menominee Holiday Classic in Menominee on Saturday, December 5th, and also the Science Olympiad will be held at Boyceville on Saturday. And that's what's happening for the week of November 30th through December 5th, 2020 at Colfax High School.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, getting ready to start the second half, and the Buffaloes inbound the ball. They're up by 2, 25-23. Paschal with a shot from 3. Let's make it up by 5 now, 28-23, and the Vikings have the ball. Harmon brings it down across the timeline. Feeds it over to Olsen. Olsen over to Harmon on the right. Into the lane to Barstead. Barstead looking to go up with it, and we have a whistle and a foul underneath. And that, I believe, is going to be on Paige Everson. It's going to send Barstead to the line.
It's going to be on 20, Ella Paschal.
Oh, check that. Okay. Shot goes up and off the iron. No good. Second shot on the way, and it's good. 28-24, we have a 4-point game. Vikings putting on full court pressure. Buffaloes inbound it to Hulke. Brings it down the floor. Vikings back off quickly. Hulke feeds it over to Thompson. Now over to Paschal. Back out to Hulke between the circles. Over to Thompson on the left. Down underneath to Johnson. Johnson drives the baseline, looking for somewhere to go. Ball gets knocked away and out of bounds. It'll still be Mondovi ball. Thompson to inbound it for the Buffaloes. Feeds it over to Everson, and the Vikings take it away. Harmon across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to Barstead, out high to Paulus, puts up a 3, and she hit it. Jasmine Paulus with a 3. 28-27, Vikings narrow it to 1. The Buffaloes come across the timeline. Thompson with it, over to Paschal, out high to Hulke. Holke gets it over to Everson. Everson puts up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Paulus, gets it to Olsen. Olsen comes down, feeds it down to Barstead across the timeline, puts up a three off the iron, no good. Rebound, long rebound taken down by Bradford, and she put up a shot and hit it. Haley Bradford. And the Vikings bring it down the floor, or the Buffaloes bring it down the floor. Thompson with it. Over to Everson. Cross-court pass to Hulke. Hulke on the left. They get it out to Everson, to Thompson, to Paschal from three. No. Ball gets knocked around, and Paulus is banged around a little on the floor. Riley Parker coming in for Paulus. And Coach Serrar barking in directions for the Vikings.
Mondovi full court press.
And a timeout called by the Vikings as they were struggling with that press and were trapped in the corner. 15:36 to go in the first half. It's Vikings on top, 29-28, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. And we're back here at Colfax High School as the Vikings took a timeout, and they're taking some time discussing this one on the sideline. Coach Serrar and Coach Doucette talking to him together over there. Makes a pretty good pair, actually. They've been making a pair for a long time.
Yeah, both teams pretty evenly matched here. Colfax has 9 girls in scoring, and Mondovi has 5 girls already that scored. So,
all right, the Vikings to inbound the ball.
Mondovi in full court press.
Bradford has it. She takes it up across the timeline, looking down the floor. Thought about feeding it underneath Olsen, but feeds it over to Harmon instead. Puts up a three, no good. Barstead tries to put up the shot. Ball got knocked out of bounds, and they're saying the Vikings knocked it out of bounds, and it's going to be Buffalo's ball. Hulke with it to Thompson. Thompson takes it across the timeline, guarded there by Olsen. Over to Hulke on the left. Feeds it into the lane. That's Cassie Thompson, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Harmon quickly down, stops at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Parker, over to Barstead now on the left side. Barstead just got it picked out of her pocket. We have a whistle and a foul, and I think it's going to be on Barstead. Yes, foul is on Barstead. That's her first personal, first team foul on the Vikings this half. Inbounding is Paige Everson for the Buffaloes. She gets it over to Catherine Thompson. Both Thompson girls are in there now. Catherine feeds it over to Everson. Over to Hulke. To Catherine. Back out to Hulke. Back to Catherine. To Cassie. Cassie puts up a shot from three, and she hit it. From the right corner, or left corner. 31-29, Mondovi on top. Olsen takes the ball across the timeline, dribbles it off the Mondovi foot and out of bounds. Harmon to inbound it for the Vikings. Gets it over to Olsen. She takes it down the right side, feeds it over to Harmon. Harmon turns around at the side of the lane, back out to Olsen from three-point land. Now back out to Harmon. Harmon around the free throw line, drives into the lane. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound was taken down by Bradford, and but when she threw it in, it went to Hulke. Hulke drives to the hole, cannot put it in, and Barstead with the rebound. And a lot of traffic down there, and Barstead loses the handle on it, and Hulke has it. To Johnson, puts it up, no good. Rebound by Parker, and Olsen has it. Olsen takes it down the left side. Circles around, feeds it underneath to Bradford. Now out to Barstead. Barstead drives down the left side of the lane, tries to feed it underneath to Bradford. And we have a tie-up underneath and a jump ball being called, and the possession arrows in favor of the Vikings. And wholesale substitutions, we've got 5 and 5 for the Vikings. And Johnson goes over to the sideline for Mondovi. Looks like she's in a little bit of pain. They inbound it, gets it out to Bovey. Long shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Hulke. Hulke brings it down the floor. Feeds it over to the left side. Back out to Catherine Thompson. Out of Hulke, drives it down, puts it up, and no good. And we have a whistle and a foul.
Dublitz on 24.
Well, that foul will be on Tyler Knoll.
No, I'm wrong.
Nope, it's not Tyler Knoll. It's on Abby Irwin. And that's Abby's second personal, also the second team foul on the Vikings. Shot is up and in for Hulke. 32-29, Mondovi on top. 13:06 to go in the game. In, dare we say, regulation.
All right.
Second shot on the way, no good. Rebound taken out by Emily Bertram Schofield. Bovey across the timeline, drives into the lane, turns around, lays it up. No, overlaid it a little bit. And Buffaloes come down with a rebound, and they bring it across the timeline. Hulke with it. Feeding it out to Cassie Thompson. Back over to Hulke, puts up a three and hit it. 35-29. Mondovi on top. That's the biggest lead of the night for the Buffaloes, 6 points. Irwin gets it out. And there's a three-pointer for Jillian Bovey. 35-32, Vikings cut it in half. And the Buffaloes come across the time. Thompson with it to Hulke. Down in the corner, back out to Paschal. They feed it over to Catherine Thompson. Now she feeds it over to Cassie. Three-pointer on the way, off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound chased down by Bovey. And the ball gets knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be the Viking ball. Bovey was being covered pretty tightly by Cassie Thompson, and Cassie knocked the ball out of bounds. Shipman brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Or she inbounded it to Bovey, who brings it down the floor. She drives to the free throw line, and her pass got intercepted. Thompson on a solo flight, lays it up and in. That's Catherine Thompson. 37-32, Mondovi on top. Bovey with it. Feeds it over to Irwin, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds by Thompson. That's Catherine Thompson again. Shipman to inbound it. Knoll and Irwin. Bovey. And the inbound pass got tipped out of bounds. and Bertram Schofield. Those are the 5 in there for the Vikings. Irwin inbounds it to Bovey. She drives down to the free throw line, turns around, gets it out to Bertram Schofield. She drives down, puts it up, no good. She walked. She took an extra step, actually took a little hop on the pivot foot, I believe. Mondovi inbounds it. Vikings with some token full court pressure. Paschal brings it across the timeline. Pass is intercepted by the Vikings, and Bovey has it in the forecourt. She drives down to the lane, tries to put it up, and she gets fouled with the body, and she's going to go to the line shooting 2. And that foul is on Paschal. That's her 4th. With 10:49 to go, Ella Paschal in a little bit of foul trouble. First shot on the way, no good by Bovey. And Paschal's going to take a seat on the bench. Johnson comes in for her. Second shot on the way, and it's good. 37-33, Mondovi on top. And the Buffaloes bring it down the floor. Feed it over onto the right side to Krybeck. Now over to the left side, and that's Thompson. Her shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Irwin. Irwin to Bovey. Out to Bertram Schofield. Turnaround jumper from the left side is no good. Rebound. It goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Viking ball. We have some substitutions for the Vikings. Barstead, Harmon, and Olsen into the lineup. Harmon to inbound it. Feeds it to Barstead. Jumper in the lane, goes up and in. Off the back of the iron, but she got the shooter's roll, and it went down for her. That's 12 points for Maddie Barstead tonight. 37-35, Vikings down by 2. About 10 minutes to go in the game. Shot from the top of the key, and it's a three-pointer for Paige Everson. 40-35. Olsen feeds it down to Barstead. Underneath the Shipman, who turns around, off-balance shot, but it goes in. 40-37. It's a heck of a game, Dan, for a season opener.
Yeah, 2 teams match up pretty good.
Pass trying to feed it into the lane. Olsen knocks it out of bounds. Pass was intended for Thompson.
Yeah, good defense by number 10, Addison Olsen.
So the Buffaloes maintain possession. Inbound pass to Hulke. Hulke drives to the lane. Has to stop. Kicks it out high to the three-pointer is no good. Rebound taken down by Bertram Schofield. Feeds it out to Barstead on a solo flight. And she missed it. She laid it off the bottom of the rim. Inbound pass, and we have a whistle and a foul being called on Olsen, and she didn't like it.
Yeah, a little reach in there by Addison.
I would bet that if that official looked real closely, he would have seen her eyes roll pretty good on that one.
Stuck her hand in there. Drew the foul.
All right, the Buffaloes inbound. Full court pressure now being put on by the Vikings that they actually mean. Long pass. Completes to Hulke. She feeds it across court, and then she gets it back, tries to put up the shot. No good. Rebound. Taken down by Barstead, and she is fighting for it underneath there, and finally came away with it. Got it to Olsen. Olsen brings it down the floor. Olsen takes it all the way down the lane and runs into a lot of traffic, and Olsen a little slow to get up.
Got a block.
And the foul is on Josie Hulke, and it's her second personal. 4th team foul. Olsen was slow to get up, but she's up and moving around just fine. Harmon with it. Inbounds it to Barstead. Barstead turnaround jumper, puts it up and in. Maddie Barstead with her 14th point of the night. 40-39, Vikings within one. 8:34 to go. Thompson with it. Feeds it over to sister Cassie. Turnaround move by Hulke in the lane is no good. Rebound knocked over to Shipman, who gets it to Olsen. Comes down the left side. Takes it over to the top of the key. Feeds it out to Shipman. Puts up a three. No. And we have a tie-up, and we have a whistle and a foul. I believe it's being called on Shipman. It is. That's Shipman's first personal, 4th team foul on the Vikings. Inbound pass to Thompson. Thompson feeds it over to Cassie, all alone over on the left side. They gave her plenty of room to put that shot up, and that's a three-pointer for Cassie Thompson. 43-39. Vikings down by 4. Turnaround move by Bertram Schofield as she went to the hole and drew the foul. Vikings down by 4. Emily Bertram Schofield at the line. First shot is up and in. Second shot on the way, rolls around and goes off. Mondovi down with the rebound. We have a 3-point game with 7:43 to go. And we have a timeout being called. We have
officials timeout, I think.
Yeah, they have to take care of some blood there. And while they're doing that, I just want to remind you, the next Vikings basketball to be broadcast on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will be on Thursday, December 3rd, when the Viking girls host the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. We will simulcast the game on both the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and our YouTube channel, NLWN-TV. Viking pregame is at 6:55. Live play-by-play will start at 7:10. That's our next Viking basketball game. Shot goes up and in, and we're back to a 6-point lead. That shot was by Abby Johnson. Vikings put up a shot, and Buffaloes come down with a rebound. Cassie with it on the right side, feeds it out high to Johnson. Back over to Cassie, puts up a three off the back of the iron, no good. She gets her own rebound, puts up a shot, it rolls off. Buffaloes get the loose change, and Hulke puts it up and in. 8-point lead for the Buffaloes. 6:44 to go. Olsen has it in the center circle. Wants to take it over to the right. Feeds it over to Barstead on the left. Puts up a three, and she hit the three-pointer. We have a timeout being called by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, 6:28 to go. It's Mondovi 48, the Vikings 43. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, where the Mondovi Buffaloes have opened up a 48-43 lead.
Full press for Colfax.
Buffaloes inbound it. Hulke has it, gets it over to Johnson, feeds it over to Paschal. Ball gets knocked out of bounds by Bertram Schofield. Well, Mondovi gets another crack at it here. Still in the backcourt. Feeds it over to Catherine Thompson. Across the timeline. Over to Cassie Thompson. Back out high to Catherine. To Hulke from three-point land. She hit it. Boy, they've gotten deadly from three. On the left side, Hulke with the three, 51-43, 8-point game. Ovi with it between the circles. Now she's over on the right side. Feeds it into the lane to Barstead. Can't quite find the handle. Let her just a little bit too much and it goes out of bounds. Inbound pass for the Buffaloes. Catherine Thompson has it. Loses the handle. Has to chase it down, and we have a timeout being called by the Mondovi Buffaloes. So, timeout on the floor. We'll take another one also. 5:40 to go. 51-43, Mondovi with the lead. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. And fans, I want to remind you that school is going to be released early at 12:30 on Friday. That's for a teacher in service. There will be no morning or afternoon junior kindergarten on Friday of this week. Also, the Red Cross Blood Drive will be at Colfax High School tomorrow. So don't forget, the holidays are always in high demand for blood. So please pitch in and do your part with the Red Cross Blood Drive. And Mondovi will inbound the ball. And they feed it in. They get it over to Hulke. She's at the top of the key. She's being tied up there. Gets it over to Cassie on the left side. Takes it down to the baseline. Lays it up and in. Cassie Thompson has become pretty effective. That's 8 points for her tonight. Vikings down the floor. Barstead with it. Gets it out to Bovey. Bovey turns around in the lane, puts a shot up. No, a little bit high. Ball's being fought for underneath. We have a jump ball being called, and the possession arrow is in favor of Mondovi. Olsen into the lineup for Bovey. They get it over to Paschal. Paschal brings it, well, passes it now over to Johnson. Feeds it across to Hulke. To Catherine Thompson. Between the circles. And the ball gets knocked out of bounds. It will be Mondovi's ball. 53-43, 4:50 to go. Johnson drives down to the lane, lays it up. No, rebound taken down by the Vikings. Olsen with it. She brings it down across the timeline. Feeds it over to Bradford, puts up a three. No, rebound chased down by the Vikings. No good by Shipman. And the Vikings, or the Buffaloes have it, and they come across the timeline. Cassie Thompson. Out high to Catherine Thompson. Over on the left side now to Hulke. To Paschal, out between the circles. Over to Cassie on the right. To Catherine on the right. Back out to Cassie at the top of the key. They're chewing up some clock now. Paschal with it. Closely guarded by Olsen. To Cassie. Back over to Paschal. Yep. Over to Cassie. Back out to Catherine. Catherine drives to the free throw line, kicks it out to Paschal. Paschal puts up a shot. It's no good. Didn't even draw any iron or backboard, and it goes out of bounds. 3:43 to go in this one. Vikings need to start hitting some shots and get back into this.
Colfax has to start pushing the ball up the court a little bit here, save some clock.
Olsen with it, across the timeline, drives down the right side, feeds it over to Irwin. Irwin tries to feed it underneath to Barstead, and she got tied up underneath, and the possession arrow's in favor of the Vikings. Harmon with it, looking for somewhere to go. Feeds it out to Barstead. Barstead with a quick short jumper, but she got fouled on the way up. Fouled by Johnson. And that'll be Johnson's third personal. 6th team foul. That means after this, the Vikings will be in the bonus. First shot on the way, and it's good. Second shot on the way. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Mondovi. Paschal with it. She comes up across the timeline. Or checked that was Hulke. To Cassie. Tries to feed it down underneath, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Hulke's foot. And it's going to go over to the Vikings. 3:15 to go in the game. Olsen quickly down the floor. Addison takes it to the right side, feeds it out high to Harmon. Harmon thought about taking a three, didn't. Feeds it over to Irwin. Now over to Barstead. Barstead puts up a shot, no good. And Buffaloes come down with it. They bring it down the floor, a quick trap put on near the timeline. We have a whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be on Emily Bertram-Schofield. That'll be her third personal, 5th team foul. Paschal to inbound. Gets it to Catherine Thompson. Brings it across the timeline. Stops in the lane, puts up a shot, and she hit it. Nothing but net. For Catherine Thompson, 55-44. Vikings bring it down the floor. Olsen with it. Lays it up. No, not quite there. And the ball gets rebounded and down the floor quickly. Paschal with a shot. It's no good, and the Vikings get the rebound. Barstead with it. Barstead across the timeline. Feeds it out to Bertram-Schofield. Long three-pointer. She hit it. Emily Bertram-Schofield got the three-pointer, and we have another timeout on the floor. So with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380. Back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings have their work cut out for them. They're trailing by 8, 55-47 with 2:13 to go. Mondovi has the ball. Johnson to inbound it. Feeds it out to Cassie Thompson. Takes it across the timeline. Back over to Johnson between the circles. Now to Cassie at the top of the key. He's done underneath the Hulky. Hulky with a quick shot up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Bradford. Or check that, that's Barstead. Barstead quickly down across the timeline, taking it herself, feeding it out to Irwin. Over to Olsen, who backs out. Over to Irwin on the right side. Over to Olsen. Olsen with a three from the left, no good. Rebound chased down by the Buffaloes. And Olsen put up a nice block, and the Buffaloes could not maintain the ball. Olsen feeds it out to Barstead. Shot goes up, no good. And we have a timeout being called.
Looks like we got a foul on number 4, Abby Irwin.
So that's her third personal, 6th team foul. Ball gets inbounded. Hulky loses control, and the Vikings grab a hold. We have a whistle and a foul being called. And the foul is on Cassie Thompson. That's her first personal. So Abby Irwin goes to the line for the 1-and-1. First shot is on the way. No, didn't draw an iron. So the Buffaloes will get the ball out of bounds. Shooting's gone a little cold for the Vikings. Johnson inbounds it. We have a whistle. And it looks like Irwin got called for a reach. So that's the 4th personal. Hulky's shot is up and in. 16 points for Hulky tonight. And her second shot is on the way. No good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. They get it over to Olsen, who brings it across the timeline. Down the right side. They get it out high. Bertram Schofield over to Harmon. Harmon puts up a three. She hit it. Marissa Harmon with the three, and another timeout being called by the Vikings. So, with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking Basketball, the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow, the season opener, Dan. Hey, want to remind you folks about some other upcoming games coming up later this week. In addition to Thursday's game with Elmwood Plum City, the Viking girls are also going to host the Prairie Farm Panthers on Friday, December 4th. We will also simulcast that game on both the Northern Light Webcasting Network and that's our audio service, and our YouTube channel, NLWN-TV. Hey, don't forget the boys. The Viking boys will open their season on Tuesday, December 8th, when they host Elmwood Plum City, and we will have that game for you as well. Buffaloes have the ball, drive to the baseline, put it up and in. That's Catherine Thompson with the shot. And the Vikings come down the floor, 58-50, under a minute. Irwin puts the shot up, no good. Rebound being taken down by the Buffaloes, and we have a whistle and a foul. I believe it's on Irwin. Yes, the foul is on Irwin, so that'll be the end of her night.
She ends up with 2 points for the night.
And a lot of hustle. So Catherine Thompson at the line. First shot is on the way, and it's good. her second shot is on its way, and it's off the front of the iron. Actually, they're saying it didn't draw any iron, so the Vikings have it out of bounds. 49.4 seconds to go. The Vikings roll the ball in. Olsen picks it up right about at the timeline. Feeds it down low to Shipman, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds. Off of Mondovi, so the Vikings will have it. Harmon to inbound it. And they get it to Barstead. Barstead feeds it down low to Bertram Schofield. Her shot is no good. Olsen with the rebound, feeds it over to Harmon. Harmon drives over to the right side, then to Olsen. Olsen looked to swing it, nobody was there. Now got it, Shipman. Shipman puts up a shot, no good. Rebound, Bertram Schofield puts up a shot. It did not go, and they're struggling for the ball, and we have a jump ball being called. Mondovi has the possession arrow, 18 seconds to go. And Bovey into the lineup for the Vikings. Hulke with the inbound pass, and she gets fouled by Harmon. That'll be Harmon's second personal. 9th team foul on the Vikings. And the Buffaloes all pull away from the lane with the exception of Hulke, who's shooting the free throws. And her first shot is no good. Rebounded, taken down by the Vikings. Quickly down the floor is Barstead. Shot quickly goes up by Bovey, and it's no good. And we have a timeout on the floor. So with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey! Okay.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
And we're back here at Colfax. Vikings down by 9 with about 6 seconds to go in this game, and that's not exactly the way the Vikings wanted to start their season. Inbound pass by the Buffaloes. They get it into Hulke, and she gets fouled immediately by Emily Bertram Schofield, so we'll walk the length of the floor with 4.2 seconds remaining. That's Bertram Schofield's 4th personal, and it's also the 10th, so Hulke will be shooting 2. First shot is on the way, it's good. And the second shot is also no good, and the Vikings quickly come down the floor. And that's going to do it. Final score from Colfax. It's the Mondovi Buffaloes 60 and the Vikings 50. Not the way they wanted to start their season, Dan, but, you know, they got a game in, and they'll just learn from this.
Yeah, they started good. Made through halfway through the second half, and Mondovi hit some crucial shots there. Number 14, Josie Hulke. She had some crucial three-pointers from the corner that kind of bumped them up ahead, and Colfax had to chase them after that.
Well, we're going to have Viking postgame coming up in just a minute. We'll have, I believe Coach Doucette is going to be or not Coach Doucette, she used to be. Coach Sarrar is going to stop up and talk with us. And so we're going to do that after this brief timeout. You've been tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we're back out here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. And kind of a sad start for the Vikings to open up the season with that 60-50 defeat at the hands of the Mondovi Buffaloes. But, Dan, you've got some numbers for us. Maybe we can start getting some of those taken care of, and then hopefully Coach Sarrar comes up and we'll get a chance to chat with her.
Yeah, here's the scores for Mondovi tonight. Their leading scorer was number 14, Josie Hulke, with 16 points, followed by number 24, Abby Johnson. She had 14 points. After that, we had Cassie Thompson with 8. Number 23, Catherine Thompson with 7. Paige Everson with 5. Ella Pichel with 3. Ava Gray with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer tonight was number 22, Maddie Barstead. She had 18 points, followed by number 20, Maria Harmon. She had 6 points. And then we had McKenna Shipman, Jasmine Paulus, Jillian Bovey. They all had 5. Addison Olson, 3. Abby Irwin had 2. And Jillian Bovey had 2. So notice on both sheets, both teams went deep into their bench, and they got lots of scoring from everybody.
And the one thing I noticed is that once Colfax fell behind, they started forcing shots and putting up shots that just, some of them didn't have a prayer. And and they weren't getting the rebounds that that Mondovi was getting. And so, you know, if you put up one and dones, that's kind of the result that you're going to end up getting.
Yeah, you want to stay as a team and stay to the game plan, and don't try to do one-on-ones and ISOs. And it helped a couple times to do some ISOs with Colfax, but yeah, you're not going to get much after that, though.
And in fairness to the Vikings, I saw a lot of good things happening out there. I did see them working together a lot. We were commenting while we were off the air just a moment ago, the Vikings are really hurting for a big girl. They're basically 5'6" across the board. And that makes it real tough to play that inside game. And so...
yeah, you don't want to become one-dimensional where you're shooting threes. You know, you want to be able to dump it in. They said dump it in, they can kick it out and get something after that. So we'll see what changes they do here the rest of the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we take a quick time out here, and we'll see if we get Coach Serrar to come up here and talk with us or not. And we'll take a brief time out, and you're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
And we're back here with Viking postgame. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. It was a little bit disappointing for the Vikings tonight, falling to the Mondovi Buffaloes by a score of 60-50. And, of course, that is a conference game, and so that's going to hurt a little bit as well.
Yeah, Colfax will have to make a few adjustments. I mean, first game of the season, you don't know what you're getting. And coaches will sit down and go through some things tonight and get ready for Thursday.
Right, and speaking of Thursday, we'll be over here on Thursday as well, on the 3rd of December, when the Vikings host the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now, we're going to simulcast the game on both the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on our YouTube channel, NLWN-TV, with Viking pregame at 6:55, and live play-by-play will begin at 7:10. In addition to that, then there's, on Friday, the Viking girls are hosting the Prairie Farm Panthers. We're also going to have that game on both NLWN-TV and on our audio service, Northern Light Webcasting Network.com. And, hey, don't forget the boys. We do have that game coming up on Tuesday. And joining us right now, climbing over the railing and joining us is Courtney Serrar and Coach. It's not exactly the way you wanted it to happen for your first game here.
No, I mean, we knew that they were a good team, and we knew we were going to have to play really well to beat them tonight. And, I mean, hats off to, Coach Hoffman and the Buffaloes, because they made a ton of their shots, and it felt like everything was going in for them and nothing was going in for us. And that's just the way
Yeah, they got super hot from three-point land about halfway through the second half. All of a sudden, they couldn't miss.
Right. Yeah, and that's just
your
sometimes.
Girls couldn't even find the iron sometimes.
Right. Yeah, so on nights like that when, they shoot the ball really well and you're not shooting the ball really well, it seems like, just everything was going right for them. So, I just told the girls, hey, we got a big week and we can't dwell on it. We got 2 more games, Thursday against, Elmwood Plum City, and they're very athletic. It could be the same story again, so we just have to, learn from it and and move on and be ready, to show up for a good practice tomorrow and then 2 more games this week. So.
And so the season, we waited, and we had a game canceled. Now, bang, all of a sudden you got to start sprinting from the get-go.
Yeah, 3 games in a week, and then again, we turn around and play Elk Mound on Monday, so we got quite the schedule coming up. So, I think it's a great week then to, have that first loss where you can just move on from it right away because you have a game coming up. It's the ones where you lose, and then you have to sit on it for a while where it kind of festers.
Or you lose after you've been trying to protect an undefeated season or something.
Right.
You got that bugaboo off your back already, and now just go out and win.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And, there's a lot of things I can learn, too. I told, just like you guys are learning to play together, this is my first rodeo as a head coach, and there's a lot of things that I still need to learn, too. So we're all in this together, and, we're just going to keep that positive attitude moving forward and, take the next game one game at a time.
It would be really curious at the end of this season if I were to ask you, what do you know now that you didn't know back on December 1st? And I would bet that could be a pretty long answer.
Oh, yeah. I could already give you a couple of things that I've learned from this game. So, it's a wonderful experience for me to be able to, be in this position, and I feel blessed to be here. And I told the girls, I'm with you 100%, and, our goal is always to win that Dun St. Croix, so we're a game behind. So somehow we've got to find a way to claw back in first place. So, and I think we can do it.
Well, Coach Serrar, thank you very much. Sorry about the outcome, but the girls scrapped. They worked hard, and good luck on Thursday.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's Coach Courtney Serrar. And for Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson, and you've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We'll see you Thursday.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.